Hello, and welcome to the 7.5-week General Chemistry course, Chemistry 101, designed for the nurses in the RN to BS Access program. My name is Jimmy Reeves, and I am the developer of the course as well as one of the instructors for the General Chemistry course. This is the same course taken as Chemistry 101 by all students who need that course at UNCW, including the pre-nurses in the traditional BS track. It's been slightly modified to include chapters that we think are more appropriate for nursing and eliminating some chapters we think aren't quite so important. It satisfies 3 hours of lecture and 1 hour of lab in the Scientific Approaches to the Natural World section of University Studies, as well as one of the 3 courses required in the modeling cluster. Grades are based on the following scheme: 2 hourly exams, 20% each, for a total of 40 points. The final exam, also 20%. Weekly quizzes, 10%. There'll be 4 of them, and I'll drop the lowest one. Homework, 15%. Again, there are 2 pieces to the homework. There's Connect homework, and there are the Learn Smart modules that are done actually before the homework is completed. And finally, there's the laboratory portion, which we'll talk about a little bit more in a second. The hourly exams and the final are proctored. They must be proctored. As I said, you'll need a 1 hour time window for the hourly exams and a 2 hour time window for the proctored exams. You can find your own proctor, but he or she must be cleared by general administration. You can also have a video proctor oversee your exam. More information about that's available on the website. Here you see the course calendar, which has all the due dates for all the different materials required for the course, including the Learn Smart and Connect assignments, the assignment due dates, the labs and their due dates, and then finally the quizzes and hourly exams. Learn Smart with Book Smart is required. When you click on any of the assignments in the modules, it'll take you directly to the McGraw-Hill page. If you haven't yet entered an access code, it will ask you to enter one. If you don't have one because you haven't purchased the book through the bookstore or another source that has Connect Plus, you can buy it directly at the website. This also provides you with the ebook, but it will not provide you with the paperback that you would get if you buy it from the bookstore. Incidentally, the paperback in the bookstore doesn't have the last 3 or so chapters that we'll be covering, although the ebook does. Notice that the Learn Smart assignments are generally due on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and the Connect assignments are due on Thursdays and Sundays by 11:59. This is the page that you would see if you came into the main Connect homework, but as I said, when you click on the Connect information in the modules, it'll go directly to the assignment itself. All assignments are available through the modules. There are 7 modules in the Learning Modules link, and they will include, as I said before, those direct links to the assignments, as well as the student learning outcomes for that particular week, and videos that we've made that focus on what we consider the important information in any given week's materials. Dr. Juniku and I will also each hold a weekly help session where you can ask questions directly, and we'll also emphasize those things we consider to be particularly important. The laboratory consists of 5 labs that you'll do in your kitchen and 6 labs that are done virtually as part of the Learn Smart Labs curriculum. Experiments will either be done at home or on the internet, depending on which you're going to be using. The kitchen chemistry labs have a pre-lab associated with them that needs to be discussed, and each lab requires a written lab report. The format for the lab report, as well as examples of good lab reports, will be available on Blackboard. Kitchen labs will count 10%, and the virtual labs, the Learn Smart labs, will count 5% of the 15% total for the labs. When you go to the Learn Smart labs, you may come to a page like this, which will require a sign-in. We'll give you information about how that sign-in works a little bit later on. These are some of the labs that will be required this semester, but as I said, you'll go directly to those labs when you click the link in the modules. Finally, this is the Kitchen Chemistry Experimental home page. Again, each of those labs outlines exactly what you need in order to carry the lab out and what's expected in the written report. Finally, here are some materials you may find useful. You will need to have a balance that can read to the nearest 0.01 grams with a maximum capacity of 200 grams. One is shown here as available on Amazon. You'll also need a thermometer that can read to the nearest tenth of a degree. The perfect beaker is not required. If you have good measuring cups and measuring spoons, that should be the only other equipment you need for most of the labs.